Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gypsy Poet Radio here on blogtalkradio.com/gypsypoet. I am the Gypsy Poet, Sophia. I got a great and wonderful program for you. As of course, I'm continuing the Girl George series. Oh, my God. Girl George and the Gypsy Poet. What better team can you have? Okay, this week we got the lovely, the wonderful, the talented, and massively talented Kim Morrison. Let me go ahead and bring both my ladies in. Ladies, are you there? Hello, can you hear me? Show me some love, would you?
Hi, Sophia. Hi, George.
Hi. I'm here. Hello. How is everybody?
Doing good.
Fine. Just
wonderful. My girl George, my lady, my madam, where are you? Are you there? Can I hear you?
I'm right here.
Wonderful.
Kim's an old friend from Nashville. First time I saw her, she was up on stage singing, "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman." And I go, oh, my God. I was never really that much into that song before, but after I heard her singing, I go, oh, my God. It's been my favorite song ever since. She's got a voice that'll knock you down.
Yeah,
thank you.
I would imagine so. My goodness.
Don't you have a story about losing your top, Kim?
Oh, God. You didn't remember this, but I was playing at Calamity Jane's.
Ooh, nice.
Doing a writer's night.
Which used to be the Red Dog.
Yeah, and I had this one-piece jumpsuit on that, like, hooked back behind the neck. And I was up there with my guitar just doing, the single thing, and the snaps from the jumpsuit broke, and my top of my thing came down. So I just pulled my guitar up in front of me, but I didn't have, usually I'd carry a safety pin or something like that with me in case of an emergency, but I didn't have anything. And George had a needle and thread or something. She came up with a needle and thread from somewhere and, like, sewed it in, sewed me into it. And she was my savior that night.
Oh, I can imagine so. That's awesome.
That's show business. The show goes on, right?
Yes, totally, yeah. Tell me something. You have a nice long pedigree of recordings you have done and people you have worked with, Miss Morrison. Talk to me. Please, where do you want to begin? I even seen stuff with Ray Charles in it, and I loved his music growing up.
Oh, I love Ray. Well, I wrote this song called "I Wish I'd Never Loved You at All" with a lady named Ruby.
Oh.
And the first verse goes, "I'm not the fool that I used to be, 'cause pain will make even blind eyes see. When you're cast aside, somehow you find your pride. I wish I'd never loved you at all." Anyway, Ronnie Millsap held it for like a year and a half. I was writing for Dick James Music out of London, and he held it for a year and a half. He had it, he did it in Braille. He was playing it live. And then when it came time for him to record, maybe he was just not as excited about it as some of the other stuff he had, had been pitched. So he didn't do it. So I was real bummed out about it. And then it was several years later, I was cleaning house and the phone rang, and it was the guy that ran Dick James, and his name was Arthur Braun.
Oh.
And he said, "Are you sitting down?" And I said, "I am now. What's happening?" He said, "Well, Ray Charles and Gladys Knight just cut your song." And it was the first duet that they did together. And then they did it on the Ray Charles. It was on his Just Between Us album. It was an album of duets, and it was it sounds like he did the tracks himself, where you just stack the tracks, but it's all Ray, and when they start singing, it's just magic, Anyway, it was on his Just Between Us CD, and then it was. He did a 50-year tribute cable special, and they did it on that show. And I ended up singing some backup with a couple of my friends here on a few of those songs on that show. We did high parts over the top of what the Raylettes did. And then then it ended up on the CD for that TV special, which is wild because they only picked like 14 songs to put on the DVD.
Wow.
And I was lucky to have, our song be one on there. And anyway, that's my Ray Charles story.
That's lovely. I'm dumbfounded. That is amazing to all of a sudden hear one of your songs being cut by an individual like him. I mean, he's in a class by himself.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that is awesome.
That's who your old man reminds me of is Ray Charles and kind of Leon Russell. She sent me some of her husband's songs. What's his name? Ronnie Godfrey.
Yeah. Yeah,
he
he's
played
a
with
monster.
Marshall Tucker, and my God, can that fucker sing?
Oh, he's incredible. He really is.
I can see where you're married. If you get tired of him, just shove him over this way. Man, that guy is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, he is. He's incredible.
Now, tell me, you mentioned Ronnie Millsap a little while ago. Actually, his biggest song, I think, is called Lost in the 50s Tonight, which is a little bit of the In the Still of the Night, which I really like his version. It's nice and it's slow. It's sexy, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I love his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He used to play here live before he got a record deal, and he did R&B.
Oh.
Yeah, he was incredible. I saw him one night at Roger Miller's hotel with the Holiday Sisters.
Oh.
And I was just totally blown away because he was just doing R&B, like just straight out of Memphis,
That's
it was
awesome.
Yeah, but then when he got his record deal, of course, coming out of Nashville, he had to, kind of go in more of a country direction, but he still was just incredible. Remember, Get It Up, Get Down, Get It On, Get On Out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he cut that down in Muscle Shoals.
I went to a party at the King of the Road, Roger Miller's hotel with Shadow Morton after the Grammys once.
Wow.
And Ringo Starr was there, and Nielsen. Nielsen came over and talked to me and asked me about the sword. But we snuck into the Grammys that night, We used to sneak into all those things. And I ran into Shadow Morton. He said, "You want to go to a party?" I said, "Sure." So we went there, and there was a big party with Ringo and everybody. That was really cool.
Oh, wow, that sounds like fun.
Hey, your mama used to be in the show business, didn't she? You started
she did.
as a baby, didn't you?
Yeah, she did live radio, and she yodeled. She was just phenomenal. She had about a 4 or 5 octave range, and
what was her name?
Her name was Dora Zufelt.
So you named your kid after Dora?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But,
so tell me about her.
Well, she played guitar and sang and wrote a little bit, but she was like the female George Jones before George Jones happened,
Cool.
She that kind of style. And then yodeled and sang harmony. She was the one that started teaching me to sing harmony. When she had cooked dinner, I'd beg her to play and sing for me while she was waiting in between times of stirring the pot. And so she'd say, "Well, only if you'll sing harmony with me." So I'd go get her guitar and bring it into her, and she started teaching me how to sing harmony. That's how it was kind of cool because I ended up, as a backup singer as well as a writer and stuff. So it really helped, She was great.
Always a cool way to make money on the side. If you can't be a star, somebody's always going to pay you to do backup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it helped support my daughter.
When did you start singing? I mean, did you go make your first record when you were real young?
No, the 8 youngest kids in our family sang together in a family group.
Really?
Bunch of us played
real
different.
Young.
Yeah, a bunch of us played different instruments, and then the ones that couldn't play something played spoons.
So how old were you then?
I was about 9, I guess, 8 or 9.
How cool!
and then I got into my first band when I was about 13.
Wow,
and,
age of 13.
We played a lot of like Animals stuff, and like blues and some but mostly like Animals. We didn't do like Beatles stuff, and we did Animals and Aaron Price set, and some of the. We were really into the British bands, but everybody else was playing all the Beatles stuff, so we decided to try to do something different. We did some stuff.
Did your mama play with you, or was it just the kids themselves?
Well, in that band, that was all just other players. My girlfriend. Yeah, my girlfriend had a pool. I was like 13, and she was 16, but she was my best friend. I always hung out with people older than me, and she invited me to go over to her house to swim. So when I got there, her boyfriend played rhythm in this band, and they were rehearsing. So we went in the house to get something to drink, and they were playing, and we walked in, and she said, "You ought to let Linda sing." Linda's my real name. And she said, "You ought to let Linda sing. She can sing." And they looked at me. I was just this little skinny kid. I just barely started developing, I was skinny as a rail, and they just kind of looked at me, and I guess to get rid of us, they said okay. And so I sang one song, and then they said, "Hey, what else do you know?" So I sang a few more, and then the next day when I went swimming, we did some more. And after a few days like that, they said, "Look, you want to, start, playing with us? We gig out." I said, "Well, you'll have to ask my mom." So they had to come up to the house, and she made them promise that they'd, take care of me and not let anything happen. And so they were kind of like my big brothers, and I guess I worked with them for about 8 months, and then I got into this band called the Centaurs, and they were all like music majors at San Diego State, and they were incredible players, and they were all in their 20s, and here I was like a 14-year-old kid, but I got a permit from the from my caseworker, my state social worker. I got a work permit to be able to play in clubs and stuff like that. So we played some clubs, and we opened a lot of concerts in San Diego that came through the community concourse. That was a lot of fun.
So you're from San Jose originally?
Yeah.
That's close to me. I'm from Oakland, so we're from like about 30 miles apart. And then you went down to San Diego?
Yeah.
When did you come to Nashville?
All around for a while. I came here when I was 18. I was working at the Palomino Club in North Hollywood.
I used to play at the Palomino in
you
L.A.
You did? Oh,
yeah,
man,
sure.
that place is such a dive when they turn the lights on.
It's gone now. It closed down. But it was cool for years and years.
Yeah, it was a fun place to play. But I was working there, and Tom T. Hall and Bobby Bear came in several times, and I think the second time they came in, they asked me if I'd come, have a drink with them and talk to me for a while, and then
come
then
here,
they
honey.
brought, huh? What?
No, so I said, "Come here, honey." Go ahead.
Then they brought Chris Christopherson and Mickey Newberry in to hear me, and I hung out with them a little while. They were in town writing music for a movie or something.
Yeah, Chris is really cool, isn't he?
Oh, God, he's incredible. Well, Mickey wasn't with him the first time, and he said, there's somebody I want you to meet, come with me. So he was on a bike, so we got on his bike when the club closed.
Chris Lawson was on a bike?
Yeah.
A bicycle or a motorcycle?
No, motorcycle.
Oh.
And they were staying at the Montecito. And so we went to the Montecito, and he woke Mickey up and said, will you play a few songs for this girl, And I had no idea what I was going to hear, It just totally blew me away. And anyway, a couple of months after that, I got a call from Bobby saying, if you want to come to Nashville, we got together and bought a ticket for you, and it's for 8:05 in the morning, so you need to get packed. So I came out here and spent a week, and my first week in town I was signed to everything.
What year was that?
That was in 1969, around September.
Okay, keep going.
And I signed to publishing with New Keys Music, which was the company that Tom T. and Bobby wrote for. And I was signed with Mercury Records. Jerry Kennedy was my producer. He was like the hot producer at the time. He was doing Joe Tex, and he played the guitar part on Skinny Legs and all. And he was the hot guy, and he was my producer. And I was signed to Key Talent for booking, and I signed everything, including Power of Attorney. And I was so young that my signature wasn't valid because 18 wasn't the legal age then, 21 was. But I was made an emancipated minor by the Superior Court of California, so I didn't have a guardian to co-sign. So,
why, was your mother dead?
No, she was in and out of nut houses and stuff. You know, she didn't drink all the time. She was like every few months she'd drink like for several months and not eat.
Oh my God, poor thing.
And then end up trying to kill herself, and then us kids would get put in foster homes. And
oh, you poor baby.
No, it's all, you know. It makes, if you don't learn the lessons, it's all for nothing.
Mhm.
Well, if it don't kill you, it makes you stronger, right?
Yes,
Right,
ma'am.
exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
Gives you a little
to
soul.
that.
Now, how did the prettiest girl in Nashville, all the guys used to fall at this girl's feet because she is so pretty. And even now, if I look up Nashville on Google, I'll find stories about Nashville, and them say, "Oh, Kim was so pretty when she came in. She sang so pretty." All the guys just fell at her feet and worshipped her. And she ends up marrying a guy that's blind that can't even see how pretty she is.
I'll tell you the secret.
But after hearing him, I can see what you see in him.
Well, yeah, but I'll tell you the secret. It's
I
Braille,
like this one.
the Braille treatment. It's the Braille treatment,
Braille?
girl.
The Braille. I know.
Braille?
I know what she's talking about. I got
Braille.
Yes, I know what she's talking
Braille.
about. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about because let me tell you something about blind folks, okay? Because I used to got a blind guy in college. He was amazing. His name is William Frederick Sparks. He's such an inspiration to me that I actually wrote a poem about him in my first volume of poetry called Blind Man. He was amazing. He was the one who taught me to listen to the things people do not tell you.
Yeah.
Now, when I first met him, I got to tell you, when I first met him, I didn't say hi and hello, how are you, I am Sophia. No, the first thing I said to him when I looked at him was, you know, just because you can't see the world does not mean the world can't see you. Yes, I told him that because he had a mouth and he wasn't afraid to use it. He was the type of guy that can make an AK-47 look friendly. So
well, Ronnie can too, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like he's not handicapped; he's handy-capable.
Right. Thank
and
you.
The way he explains it is that sight is a distraction.
Yes.
You know, like if you see someone, that their appearance a lot of times is just a veneer.
Yeah, you miss the inside.
It can mislead you. You know, he said this lady was walking with him one day, beautiful Latina artist, and you know she had that Kim Kardashian ass. You know, I mean, and all the guys were flipped out over her, and they're walking, and she's got his arm, you know, leading him, and she goes, "Everybody wishes they were you, Ronnie. You don't know how lucky you are," he said, "girl. I don't have to see you to tell if you're pretty or not, because if you're not pretty on the inside and pretty as a person, how you look really doesn't mean anything."
That rendered any woman speechless. And that is a good point he made, and that goes the same thing with my blind friend. Yes,
yeah.
Totally. And it's amazing what they know and what they hear, and hearing the story, that just really touches my heart. Let me tell you, because it really, you brought me some memories there from college. You really did.
Wow.
because that right there, that hits close to home with me. And let me tell you another thing. Their sense of direction is so keen, especially with my friend William. His sense of direction was so keen. Sometimes I was curious if he was guiding me.
Oh, let me tell you this story. This is funny. Ronnie's little brother Ricky is also blind. He's a blind guitar player. He's like, if you stuck Django Reinhardt and Jimi Hendrix in a blender, you'd have Ricky.
Wow.
Oh,
and,
that sounds like William too.
He's incredible, but he we were riding with a friend of ours. A friend of ours were taking us all to Greenville, South Carolina. That's where they're from. And it was the first time that our friend had ever been to Greenville. So Ricky was giving him directions on how to get to his house. So this guy decides that he's going to mess with Ricky. So Ricky says, okay, take a left here. So he takes a left, he pulls into a driveway, he turns around, does a donut in the middle of the intersection, does all this stuff, you know, and then stops at the corner, and Ricky goes, okay, now go up to the middle of the block, and it's on the right, you know. Oh, wow. And can I say fuck on this show?
Yes, you can.
Ricky said, he tried to fuck with me, so I decided I had to re-fuck him. It was really funny.
I talked to your husband the other night on the phone. He's the funniest guy I ever talked to.
And you know, he's like a Garmin. You know,
he's great. He's great. I can't wait to talk to him. We're going to interview him the week after next on this show here.
Oh,
wonderful. And his music, my goodness, his music is amazing.
Yeah, he is.
You're a lucky girl. You're a very lucky
girl.
Yes,
I am.
Absolutely.
You've been married, 20 years now?
23 and counting.
That's cool. And you write songs together and everything?
Congratulations, because I'm surprised even any union lasts even a year these days. Congratulations.
Oh, all of our friends were taking bets that we wouldn't last a month. Because we're both so wild, and people would see Ronnie out and they'd say, God, are you still with Kim? You know, and he'd go, yeah. And they'd go, is she still as wild as she used to be? And I used to get drunk on tequila and take my clothes off on stage and stuff like that. And then I showed my ass in so many places I couldn't show my face anymore. I had to go home for 10 years. It was craziness. But I finally got my credibility back.
I'm still showing my ass.
Well, that's okay. You got a nice one to show, girl.
On that poster they made in Nashville, somebody came in the place, and they used to take pictures of us all the time, me and Star, and they came into the exit in, and I knew they had a camera, so I just pulled up my dress, which came down to my feet, and pulled it up and just showed my butt on that one side where the tattoo is, and they took a picture, and a week later, they had this great big picture at the end of the bar with that picture of my ass there. So I made posters of it, of course, and sold them out.
I think so too. Anyways, I hate telling you this, but our episode is up for the week, and I just wanted to say I had a blast listening and talking to the lovely, wonderful Kim Morrison and the ever so mesmerizing and funny and just way out there girl George. What
she is. What a girl, man.
What a girl she is. What a wonderful group of people I got. Oh, my goodness. Girl George is a blast. And, Kim, it was a joy to have you on my radio program.
Thank you.
It is wonderful. And, wow, the show just gets better and better and better. Girl George, can I take a minute to say something?
Whatever.
I am so proud of you. I have to tickle her. I said, I am so proud of this woman. I mean, how she just got up and stepped up and just became my co-host for GPR. It just doesn't get any better than that. She is empowering. She's wonderful. She's funny. She has stories that could last a lifetime and many more. Anyways, I wanted to say thank you, Miss Kim Morrison. What a pleasure it was. Your stories are funny. Your voice is sexy. Your songs are just amazing. I have to tell you that. I mean,
thank you.
Yes. Absolutely.
It was my pleasure, and anytime you need somebody to fill in, call me.
Yes. Oh, you bet I will. We will. Okay.
Can I just say something? Can I just say something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that Girl George is one of the bravest artists that I've ever known. She was one of the first people that I ever saw that incorporated theater and music together. People just weren't doing it. And now you see Madonna and Gaga and all these other people, and they're supposed to be so innovative, but this lady was doing it 20 years, 25 years, 30 years before anybody ever had the balls to go there. And you're one of my heroes.
Yes, and honestly, being of course the youngest one in the group so far, so good. I feel inspired by her myself.
Me too.
Well, she's very inspiring. Thank you so much for joining me on GPR. It is such a joy. And Girl George, you rock it every freaking time, sister. You always do. You are the best, and there can't be anybody better. I am Sophia. This is the Gypsy Poet of Gypsy Poet Radio on BTR saying adio for now.
Ciao.
Bye.
Mama, and I'm damn proud of it. Just give me 2 wheels and a long stretch of highway. I'm in hog heaven, doing things my way. A whole lot of freedom and a little gas money. Life don't get no sweeter for a Harley, honey. That's right, baby. I've been known to let a cowboy ride on the back when he's holding on tight. I like it like that. I love feeling the wind and looking up at the stars with my fingers all wrapped around the handlebars. I don't need a map when I'm on my diner glide. I just kick it into gear and away we ride. Just give me 2 wheels and a long stretch of highway. I'm in hog heaven, doing things my way. A whole lot of freedom and a little gas money. Life don't get no sweeter for a Harley, honey. I've never met a man who was man enough to slow me down, no. I leave 'em in the dust just watching my wheels go round and round and round and round. Oh, yeah. Ah, yeah. Give me 2 wheels and a long stretch of highway. I'm in hog heaven, doing things my way. A whole lot of freedom and a little gas money. Life don't get no sweeter for a Harley, honey. A whole lot of freedom and a little gas money. Life don't get no sweeter for a Harley, honey. That's right, baby. It sure don't get no sweeter than this. Come on, climb up here behind Mama. Let me take you for a ride. I got to ride.